So first of all, we know the last 2 weeks have been an incredible shakeup in the tech world. And what I mean by that is obviously the collapse of SVB, Silicon Valley Bank. We're not going to talk about what happened there. I'm in no position to even talk about it. I barely know what they do or how a bank works. However, I do want to say that they were heavily invested in startups. And the fact that they collapsed also marks that they were the second biggest bank in US history to collapse. And it happened just last Friday. Additionally, we know that Meta completely kiboshed all of the plans for digital assets and NFTs. Some people can say they saw coming, but isn't that kind of a big part of the metaverse? Followed that up with the fact that Meta just announced 10K additional layoffs. And that whole pool kind of gets you thinking, what's next? So in 2022, there was a total of 161,000 layoffs, with the majority actually happening at the end of the year. You can see here, based on layoffs.fyi, that November and December accounted for the vast majority of these layoffs. November standing out with almost 54,000 layoffs alone in that month, with companies such as Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta all doing layoffs right before Christmas. Isn't that a great Christmas gift, right? But if we flip over to 2023, we can already see that there's already 138,000 layoffs already, and we're only in the 4th month of the year. The charts are looking very bad. There seems to be such an increase in layoffs. January was extremely bad. January 2023 accounted for 84,000 layoffs. That's right, 84,000, even bigger than November, if you could believe it. So what does all of this mean? Well, a lot of people are saying it's the correction of COVID. They overhired at COVID. You're right. These companies did overhire at COVID. And this great video by 365 Data Science, link in the description below, it explains the fact that these companies definitely overhired, and some staggering numbers are the following: Twitter, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Alphabet, aka Google, and Apple. And we can see that the employee growth from 2019 to 2021 is the startling number, because we can see that Amazon somehow had 99% employee growth. I don't even know how that's possible, but it is. Meta had 60%. Twitter had 53%, Alphabet had 50%, Microsoft had 40%. And the most interesting one here, folks, is that Apple only had 12% employee growth, and we have yet to hear of any massive layoffs coming from Apple. But here, the number of layoffs, or the percent laid off in just 2022, is pretty impressive. Twitter stands out because Twitter and Elon, well, I think that's a bit of an anomaly there. I think 58% laid off was Elon's kind of reign, his takeover. But the numbers that we do need to pay attention to are the numbers between Meta, Microsoft, and Alphabet, where the percent of employees laid off ranges from 5.5 all the way to 15. So obviously it makes sense. When you overhire and the economy goes bad, you need to fire people and lay them off. Sure, but that doesn't really explain a lot of the fact that there's still hiring freezes and companies are still laying workers off. Tech companies this year, they got to be lean. And the leanest way you can do that is basically fire people. That is the truth. Unfortunately, that is the truth.
Okay, Melky, well, what does this mean?
Right. First of all, if you're a person in tech, I would be decently concerned at this point, especially if you work at a FANG company. Not so much because I think you in particular are going to get laid off, but I think no one is safe anymore. And the unpredictability is the thing that scares me the most. You don't know if tomorrow Amazon's going to announce 20,000 people need to be laid off, or in a week, Google's going to announce another 30,000 people are going to be laid off. There's definitely pessimism in the air, and it just has that scent that you really can't knock off. Every time you talk to your worker or your employee, it seems like another person they know in their family or their friends got laid off, or someone just got put on a new performance evaluation. Who knows what the reason is, but it seems like people are just very pessimistic in tech, and it sucks. If you are on a chopping block, well, let me tell you, there's nothing you can do in the next week or 2 or 3 that's going to change that. You are probably going to be fired and life is going to move on. Yes, it's going to be extremely hard to find a job right now, and there's resources are very limited, but that doesn't mean that's impossible, because there's still startups that are hiring. Right? Or that SVB kind of scare a lot of startups and make them smarter with their monies, because a lot of startups banked with SVB and all their money almost went poof. Shout out to FDIC, who came in with a dive and save. I think startups are also going to be a little bit more competitive because they're going to be a little bit smarter with how they spend, how they want to give out offers, and how much money they want to put into that offer letter for the employee. Let's talk about the people who want to get into tech. And I'm talking all the juniors, the people in college who are seeing this from afar, and maybe people who are just finishing up boot camps who've done a career switch. Let me tell you guys, it's probably going to be the toughest for you, because the age of finishing up one boot camp to get a 150 to 200K job are over. That bubble has burst, also known as the tech bro bubble, if you've heard it, that thing has burst, and the entrance to get into software has never been harder. And there's a few factors go into that. A, the hiring freeze at all these companies is savage. Two, not only are you competing with the normal rate of people who apply to these companies, but now you're competing with 140,000 more people who were laid off in just this year who are competing for jobs. I know not all of these jobs are software engineers, but we can say a good majority of them are. And these are people who may have a lot more work experience than you and are willing to take a lower paying job because it's better than no job. So I definitely think being a junior or someone getting into the industry right now is very tough. Again, that's not to say it's impossible. I think you should be okay. If you keep on networking, keep on joining great Discords like mine, link in the description below, where people are offering, looking, and communicating with people who are looking for jobs, I think you'll be on the right path to finding one. I do want to say that it seems like in the next few weeks, shit's going to hit the fan, if not already. Put on your propeller hat to block the shitstorm coming your way. Make sure you have one of those visors that wipes the shit from your face. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already, because what are you doing? Why haven't you clicked this button yet? I love you guys. Stay safe. Until next time.